deal.
Yeah, that's fine. So go down here and find the share button.
I've already got that.
Okay. That's fine. It should be live now. So that should come up in a few seconds. If that comes up, then we're good to go.
Come on. There we go.
Good afternoon.
It's the first bit when something went unexpected. That was when it took ages to the first bit, and then after that went bad. Because I know what I'm doing. We'll see. I like to just
Come on. There we go.
Good afternoon.
It's just the face. Is that because you got the replacement? No, that's how they
Alrighty.
Yeah, welcome.
We are live. We are live streaming. We've got our 4 captains here. Welcome to the Super League draft for 2019-2020. SA Adelaide Outbreak Super League.
You excited, Johnny?
Oh, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Got our 4 captains here. We've got picking first Martin Tonkin, the black team. Next up, we've got Sean Lace here by proxy for Sammy Inches Ogden, who is away. I think he's in Bali or Thailand or somewhere.
Having a holiday somewhere.
And they are the white team. We've got Wilson, the blue team, and Andy, who will pick 4 and 5 as it snakes back through with the red team. Without further ado, hand it over to Marty. We will start. There's a minute to pick each round for each captain. Are you ready? Are you spaghetti? All right, let's go.
Johnny Warren White.
Johnny Warren White. We just started.
Johnny Warren White.
Johnny Warren White goes number 1.
These guys are commentating. Are you commentating? I can't hear you.
Johnny Warren White, number 1. Who we got number 2?
Sean picking for Sammy.
Greg Schrader.
Greg Schrader.
Sammy picks Greg for number 2. I thought those guys would have gone.
Ben Foley.
Ben
We've gone
Foley
rapid
makes the
fire
top
here at the
3.
start.
We're just reeling these off at the moment, aren't we?
Sean Davis goes
Sean
to Andy
Davis.
Baddix.
Was that Foley for Wilson?
Yeah. Foley for Wilson. I can't find anybody.
And then I'll go Lockie Eichner.
And Lockie
And
Eichner.
Lockie Eichner.
Going for Andy's second pick. Got Sean Davis and Lockie Eichner. That's your timing, eh?
I should get a random pick.
You've got Lockie Eichner for Andy Baddix. And then,
Fine.
was that a question or a statement, Wills? That's a statement. He's taking Rob, not Rob.
Rob goes on to Wilson.
Yep, Rob on Wilson. You've got Lockie Eichner for Andy Baddix.
There it is. Alright, what are we up to? Sammy Ogden's going with 30.
Is that a 30 or a 30?
30.
30. Starts 30 with an
He
F.
goes second round. There we go. And we're back with Marty to finish off the second round. So there's a lot of there's a lot of people really quickly.
Yeah, it was very quick.
We're 2 rounds in. The normal, the usual culprits are there. 30 is a surprising one for me, and I think we got Rhodes.
There we go. No, they've all done
The
well.
handler,
Thomas Roden.
Thomas Roden. Come Thomas Rodin's only there for 8 games, but a real handy player. 7 Super Leagues under his belt. One of the greater handlers. I think, going back to the 30 conversation, I think Sammy's picking a team that he doesn't have to defend. 30 would probably be one of the quicker handlers out there at the moment. And I think
picking the players he doesn't want to play against.
Exactly. If he's on his team, he doesn't have to chase them.
Hey, what is this? What is this? Hey, this is illegal.
Yeah, great. Where are you? So we're back with
Marty
with Marty
again.
again. We're with Marty again. We're the top of the. We're close. We've got 10 seconds.
If you guys said no, you'll get it. This is actually Talent.
Big T.
What's he in?
He's up here.
There he is. So he's one of those utilities that he's an interesting one though because he put his availability down for 5 to 10.
Ooh,
So that
could
means
be getting
he's
5.
definitely in for 5, but he's a maybe for 5 as well. So it could be difficult because
Could be 10. It could be 5.
could be 8. It could be
Part of
6.
your game.
Connor Fletcher.
Connor Fletch. He's available for 10 games, so
Yeah, he's there. He's a solid in the back. Great hands, quick. You can probably play him wherever you want. You can play him as a handler. You can play him as a cutter. It's a good pick. Once again, similar for Sammy. Doesn't have to chase him. Wilson is going experience with Mr. Sanderson.
yeah. How many Super Leagues has Sando played? He's playing all 10 games, Benny.
He's available for all 10 games. Wait, is this Baddocks? Are we talking about Baddocks? Is that? It was Baddocks, was he?
Fake warning.
And leaves him behind, right?
Well, up to Andy for his pick.
So Andy's got
3
2 in a row
and then
here.
pick 4.
His team at the moment, he's got a couple of throwers and a receiver. He's got a couple of...
Tell me when I got 10 seconds.
You got 15. You got 15.
Alright, I'll go
5.
Joe Petrie.
Closes out round 3.
One of those utilities that he's come a long way in his. So him and Lockie, both young, both a couple of years now. They've been playing 3 years, as we found out this morning on our experience line. 2 throwers, well 3 throwers really, and then Lockie to catch these goals. So that's a formidable top 4 there for Andy. We're still with Andy. He's got a second one. Can't pick the same guy twice.
30 seconds.
He's got 30.
Foley, help me out.
Alright, 10 seconds.
I'll go Nunu.
It's a new.
Noons. Ultra. Anthony. Around for 8 to 9 games. Joins the red team. We're back with Wilson.
Wilson for his 4th pick. He's got a fairly tall team, as it is.
You got 30.
John Brill. There we go.
Oh, good team. I like it. I like that team.
How do you feel about that, Johnny? I feel pretty chuffed.
Yeah, I like Wilson. I like Wilson a lot. I could definitely play alongside him.
Seng. Sean Lace picking for Sammy Ogden. Goes with Seng. For round 4.
So he's here for 7 to 10 games. He's one of those guys that's definitely there for 7. And this will be
Back to Marty for 2 picks in a row again. Round 4 and round 5.
sounds like he doesn't want to play anymore. No, he's in still. So we've got 2 with Marty now. There's a lot of talent left on the board here. What does he need? He's got a tall lineup already. He probably needs some shorter guys that can run with some of those shorter cutters that SA are full of. With that said, he's got some very safe hands back there. He's got himself, he's got Rhodes, and he's got Johnny. Here we go. His first pick. Oh, give me 30 seconds.
25.
So on a side note, we have had 48 registrations,
48, yes.
I think, altogether, excluding the captains. There are 40 picks.
Yep, 8 unlucky people.
Unfortunately, mean 8 won't be playing this season, but
Adds for a bit of competition though.
yeah,
Hot
it
topic.
does definitely improve the competition. A couple of years ago, they had 6 teams, and it was good, but there was definitely a driver. All right, Marty, what do you got?
Keith.
Going with
Keith Chow.
Miley,
as he's affectionately known.
Miley.
He came in like a wrecking ball. If you're coming out to the grand final next Wednesday, you can see him in full swing.
Absolutely, Mr. Miley.
Playing for the gold in the Div 1. There'll be plenty of side games on the side as well, so
Plenty
get
of
around
good
them,
things
win a
happening
few
in that game.
tops.
I think the Division
There's a
1
barbecue
women's.
with the under 22s.
Sam Kayon. I'm very surprised he's gone this late, to be honest.
Yeah,
I forgot he was in the draft. No offense to him.
well, he's only available for 6 or 7 games,
That
so
is
he's missing 3 to 4.
But that is a great pick to steal this late. I mean, he's another safe hand. So you got him, Roden. You got Marty, who doesn't have to play handler anymore. He can play where he wants.
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Keith and Johnny to carve up the middle, and then Talis to shoot to. So we're going with Hong for Sammy Ogden.
Going for those layout Ds that he was showing out in Townsville earlier this year. So, and he's available for all 10 games.
Yeah, huge. So a lot still to pick.
We've got quite a few people that haven't played Super Leagues before as well.
Yeah.
So looking forward to getting their first shot.
Give you 30. I'm too busy, man. I can't do it all.
It's not going too slowly.
Nah, I think it's a good pace. Just take your time. Don't want to make any mistakes here.
You only got about 10 left anyway.
So there's a lot of people still around. A lot of hard-working young people normally, and a lot of rookies around. Hopefully to see some rookies.
It's a good way to develop into the start of the outbreak season. And
Absolutely. This season it is a little bit earlier, so it's actually starting Monday week. So what's that? 9 days away from now. The reason for that is Div 1 national season has changed. They've got the tour, which means that the first is actually the first. Tim Stevens, welcome.
Go. Oh, and Johnny, I'm on your team, mate. That's exciting. What do you mean?
Probably better to have us separate. Tim Stevens coming to the blue team.
There we go.
It's exciting.
Yes.
Partner in crime.
That's good, mate.
And this is the last pick before the halfway point, where we'll switch out Mr. Stevens from Mr. Foley.
Invite Ben Foley to the mic.
Yeah, he'll come have a chat to us. So
Before I leave though, Johnny, have you signed up for the Beach League coming up?
I haven't yet. Which league is that? Because there's about 3.
Summer Fling. Going to
There's
the beach
Summer
on
Fling,
Wednesday
5-week
nights.
beach
It's
league.
5 weeks.
There's also the Big Kevs League that's happening.
Yeah, okay. That's a tournament though. That's just 1 day tournament.
Yeah, 1 day tournament. Another 1 day tournament as well in Semaphore happening at the end of November.
Yes, that was great last year. We had
Cool.
plenty of teams
Australian
down there.
beach games.
Yes, worthy of a good sign up.
There's a lot of beach. There's a lot of frisbee to play.
Play some beach, some 5-on-5 with your shoes off. It's a bit of fun.
Yeah,
Often a bit windy, but you can often go for a swim straight after. It's a good way to bring on the end of spring and the start of summer. Hopefully we get a bit warmer days than what we're currently experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so with Andy Baddocks, he's got about 30 seconds left.
Sid. Gonna go Sid.
There we go. So is that our first
So Sid
first
comes
rookie?
on.
First one that hasn't played a Super League. That's exciting. Well done, Sid.
So just letting the captains know, it's halfway. We're halfway through the picks, which is very exciting. And the pick is with Andy as well.
Right, I'll leave you and I'll invite Ben Foley to the microphone.
Mr. Stevens. So Sid is in for 10 games and a rookie. He played his first Div 1 Nationals with Vanguard a couple weekends ago. Mixed Nats, that's it. And he has played, I think, Div 2. Did he play Div 2 last year for Outbreak?
Yeah, he did.
He did. He did quite a good job. Very safe hands and good legs.
We got time.
You got 10 seconds.
Running by the clock, are we?
We are.
Keeping it tight.
Otherwise,
People
let's
making
take all
rush
their time.
rush decisions.
That's it.
I'll go.
Bit of panic.
I'll
Whoa.
go Ted.
Ooh, that's worth umming and ahhing about, I reckon.
It is interesting because he's only here 5 to 6 games. So
He
that's
just
half the
told
league.
me at least 6 games,
Okay, at least 6
possibly a
games.
few extras,
That's not what his availability
but
says.
not
but who
not for the
knows?
final or not for the last game of
Who
the
knows
round.
how that will play out?
Max of 6 games.
Yeah,
Oh.
so 5 to 6.
5, yeah.
Could be 5, could be 6. Maybe less if he gets injured. Nah, just kidding. Knock on wood. But yeah, Ben, welcome to the mic. Good to have you.
Thank you, John. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. What do you think so far?
Yeah, it's good. We were speaking in the crowd about a bit of a bias. Andy Baddocks is a reasonably heavy, kind of UniSA team with his first 3 picks, and
that
Wilson
now.
similarly 4 of his 5 picks are all played for WoW in this season, which are the 2 teams in the final. So that's an interesting development.
Definitely interesting.
And then Sammy really needs to pick up some cutters at some point because it's currently Greg and then 5 handlers,
It's
or 5 people that can comfortably play handler
should be
anyway.
10.
Yeah, so
Very. Mr. Scott McKenzie, who's here for 9 games, comes onto the white team.
no, that was Wilson, wasn't it?
Yep. Oh, no, it wasn't, sorry. I'd take that back. He is on our team. He's on the blue team.
Yeah.
Scary, welcome. I don't think I've ever played with Scary before. He's quick.
He's a cricket player, likes to run, very
Yeah.
quick. Was the fastest man of SA Ultimate for a while.
Yeah.
Not sure if he still is. But yeah, he's noticeable in the field, hard cutter, will get the disc a lot.
Absolutely.
Not sure if that's exactly what Wilson's team needs because they got a lot of guys that are happy to get the disc a lot.
Yeah.
With Foley, Rob, Sando, John, all happy to come under and get quite a lot of touches. So he hasn't really specialised, which is not necessarily a bad thing. You could either try a very versatile team, or you can try and have clear throwers and clear receivers, which is so far what Ogden has done.
Speaking tongue, and that is exactly what you just said. They shouldn't go, but they have.
They have. I mean, Tung's a good player.
He joins a team of young, quick, short people.
Yeah, and if I may be so bold, a lot of people from Asian descent.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but you may have. Tongue comes on to semis for round 6. Do you think Sean is taking the piss a little bit?
It's hard to say, is it?
Is he just
He's
picking the
definitely
team that he
enjoying
wants to
himself.
watch?
He's having a good time
How
up
much
there.
is Sean Lace going to come out to these games and just laugh? Oh, what do you reckon? Another Sky. Oh, interesting.
I wonder if Sammy's watching this live from Bali right now and just shaking his head and surely. Or if he's quite happy, maybe he's sticking to his plan. Maybe he wanted 400 people that can touch the disc 4,000 times.
I don't think there is. Picking him round 2. Yeah. I mean, Sammy did mention on Wednesday night to me that he wanted to pick a team that he didn't have to defend. And that's exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
All the people that aren't like Sammy, no offense to Sammy, he's quick, but not as quick as some of these younger fellas. They're going to be moving the disc really,
There's going to be a lot of passes. They can spread the field wide, sideways, laterally, and open up the middle of the field.
And Greg-
They'll create lots of touches and lots of movement.
Yep, absolutely. Bit of a matchup nightmare because it'd be interesting because there's no clear matchups that would be obvious. I don't think. I think every point would just be completely different.
But a lot of players do very similar roles.
Correct.
hard to know who will take on
On the other
kind
hand,
of biggest
yeah,
like
10
threat
seconds.
of-
On the other hand, you've got the black team at the moment, Marty, with very distinct, I feel, roles.
Marty's kind of fulfilled the need for like an older team so far this season. And who did you say? Tasman, another old and experienced player.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the oldest, but definitely like been playing for a lot of years.
Has played 8 Super Leagues.
8
according
Super
to his
Leagues, you reckon?
registrations.
Well, apart from Keith there has only played 1 Super League, but is still one of the kind of on the upper echelon of age. And then Smits, Roden, Johnny, Kaon, Taz. These guys have been around for a long time. These guys have been playing Super League back since it started.
Yeah.
So that's like a lot of experience. Well, you look at like some of the averages of the other teams, like Sammy's team, they're all sitting around in kind of 2 or 3 Super Leagues.
Yeah. And then you got
Most of Wilson's team are sitting in the kind of 3 to 5 range, and then you're all over this place with Badix's team, but yeah,
But that's all right.
quite a few in the lower region as well.
You got a couple young guys, got a couple.
Apart from Keith, Marty, everyone from Marty's team's played at least 7.
Absolutely.
He is a bit of a boomer.
You got 30 seconds. Where
I
does
think
Marty
Marty's
go
going to be
here from
spending
here?
a lot of his time shaking his head and saying kids these days.
Where does Marty go here? Does he go another tall cutter? So he's got obviously some pretty safe hands in the backfield. He probably needs some young legs that can run with the other young legs on other teams.
Just pick some athletes, you reckon?
I reckon.
Yeah, so who would you pick of the athletes kind of going around?
There's a few. Perrin's one that comes to mind. If you want to go a shorter cutter, you got 10 seconds.
It's time.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Mitchell Burns.
Ooh,
And
Mitch
he
Burns.
goes with
He's
Mitch
gone
Burns.
for his club player at the moment
Does?
in Marty's Miscreants. Currently playing league. I think they finished 4th out of a possible 5.
They did.
But Mitch is a good attribute. He's a hard runner. He likes to
He is.
throw his body on the line.
Works very hard.
Yeah, and he'll sometimes drop occasional bombs that will surprise everybody, including his teammates.
Did that happen recently?
That happens pretty regularly.
And he's going with the Canadian fella who literally signed up this morning. Greg Windsor comes into the game.
He's a rookie for the season. Yeah, but he's a
193.
tall fella, likes to run and jump.
A tall fella.
The Gregonasians, the crowd's calling it, which
Gregs.
is culturally inappropriate, but good for a laugh.
Greg's. The 2 tall Gregs, and then the rest of them I don't think come above 5'8". Oh no, Sing's in there.
Sing
Sing's
can jump.
in there.
Sing can take some big drugs.
And then you obviously got Sammy as well. Do you reckon Sammy's going to go for a run? I reckon Sammy's going to play
I
himself.
don't know if
as
Sammy
a
remembers
handler.
how to go for a run.
I mean, yeah, we're going to miss him on Wednesday
But
night.
you'll see Tung, you'll see Sing, you'll see Ferdy, you'll see all those guys go downfield quite a bit and create options, and then suddenly you got cutters with excellent throws getting the disc in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
So
30
it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We're getting to the business end here.
We are.
This is the picks probably the make or break your season really, because you got like a lot of them are gambles. Like some of these coaches or selectors don't know all these players all that well. They're going on what they've heard or reputation or
or what they've seen around.
maybe they've only seen him in like one
And if they
game
haven't
here or
played
there.
State League,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely.
Wilson's a bit upset. I think he wanted Greg there.
You got 10 seconds. Wilson.
Aiden Mitchell, another little disc move in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he's actually played a few more Super Leagues than what I thought, hailing from Shu.
Yep.
Yeah. He's a good little player. Works hard in the midfield. Safe hands.
Yep.
They've actually been carving it. I think, did they end up falling into the 3-4 bracket for Div 2? I think they might have.
They lost their 2-3 game.
lost their 2-3
Essentially 3 teams came first, equal
Yeah,
first,
it was
and
a
they
very tight
on
Div
goal
2.
difference they ended up playing in the 2-3 playoff in the semi-final
Alex.
and lost that on a very tight game.
It's on the Google sheet. There are
Will,
a
so
lot
you're
of
looking there.
other runners around.
No, I'm a busy man.
Wilson, back to the thing. Come on, man. Sneaky bugger.
I'm going to go Ricky.
And Andy Baddix chooses Richard Klein.
Luke Mayer.
And then he goes with the young guy.
Ryan.
So Ricky Klein coming in, round 7. And then we've got Luke Mayer, young fella. Played with him last season actually on the yellow team. And despite a couple of hamstring injuries, played a very good league. It comes on to the red team. So that's a team that is full of young, quick, athletic, reasonably experienced. Got a bit of a variation. So we're back with Wilson. We're back with Wilson,
Scott Schwartz, he said.
and he's going to pick Scott Schwartz.
Good number of games, Scotty. 10 games.
Playing all the games.
Every
Consistency
game.
is good in Super League. There's always injuries. There's always things that pop up. But to be around for at least, to say, yep, I'll try and get there all 10. At this point in the draft is pretty important to have some consistency.
And Scott, Scott's an experienced player. He's been around a long time. He's played a lot of Super Leagues. What's it say there? 6 Super Leagues he's played. But he's also, pretty heavily invested in his own improvement and playing well and
For sure.
playing for the younger guys.
You mentioned he was one of the B leadership.
Yep. He's
part
going
of
to be
the
putting in a bit of
Outbreak
work
B
to make sure the B team does well at Div 2 Nationals this season.
So just
So he's
talking on Outbreak this season, we've got an A leadership and a B leadership. We've got a lot of different things happening with different kind of peaking times for both teams. What do people need to do if they need or if they'd like to be a part of this season for Outbreak? Because it is started all today.
Yes, we had our first train today. We're down at Plympton Oval right now.
Yeah.
We've got a great venue here. There's good deals on drinks and food, as well as shower facilities and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good spot.
Yeah.
We had a good number out today. What do you reckon? High 30s, low
hard to
40s
say with
out
the under 22s,
out training tonight with us.
Yeah, there's
Today with us.
40.
And we're hoping to put 2 teams together. One going over one staying in Adelaide actually for the Australian Championships.
Yep, the road to
in
Adelaide.
April. Yeah, the road to home. And then we're like a Division 2. Andrew Chua.
Chua adding to the stereotype, unfortunately.
The crowd loves it. I think there's a whole bunch of Asian country flags being dropped from the rooftops here.
There's a
as they
couple left
start
in the
celebrating
draft as
their,
well.
Greg Windsor played on Phoenix in State League.
That's true. Greg played on Phoenix, which is known as an international team, I guess, full of students coming over from mostly Asian countries, like the Singaporeans, a few from where else are they from, like Thailand or something. Vietnam, I think, is a few from. So anyway, if you want to play Outbreak, come down Plympton Oval on a Saturday morning at about 9 a.m. or Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. Or speak to myself or John or anyone else that's experienced or knows what they're doing, and they'll put you in the right direction. Plenty of opportunities to play tournaments.
There is an Outbreak group as well, if you're not part of that, on Facebook that you can get involved in.
It's private to stop all the interstaters getting their hands on it.
It does.
We're happy to let anyone in that's interested in coming out for a run.
Coming out. Yeah, so with State League kind of finishing up, we get into Super League now for the next 10, 11 weeks. And then where does it happen? Where do we go from there for both the AB and A?
A has a qualifying tournament at the start of Feb, which is make or break for the whole season, really. They need to try and make top 12 to then go on to play the national tour.
Yeah.
That's being introduced to the Australian Ultimate calendar this season.
Last year, yeah.
So there'll be 2 more tournaments in Sydney and then home in Adelaide in the championships
10 seconds,
in
Marty.
April. And then the B team will kind of start a bit later, but then have a warm-up tournament mid-March, and then their Australian Division 2 championships happening at the start of April in Canberra.
Do you want me to put the list of people who haven't been picked up there?
We've also got a camp coming up. It's mid-December. We've got coaches flying over. It's in Adelaide, so you don't have to stay anywhere or go away anywhere. You just come down for 2 days of training.
Camp at home.
Camp at home. You get a free jersey. You get coaching from some of the
great,
best
by
in
the
the
way.
country that
Yeah.
are flying over for the event. Lunch is included, all that stuff. Have a bit of banter and good time. So there's still time to sign up for that. We're going to close sign-ups on Monday coming up. So if you're listening to this and you're interested in coming out for a run with 40 other dudes from around Adelaide and train with some of the best, then we encourage you to sign up. You can just find that on saultimate.net.
Open for all skill levels though. Like if you're a brand new beginner, it might be a little bit overwhelming. But if you're first season in and kind of get a basic understanding of the rules, then there's no reason why you
No,
can't
I mean, we'll look after you. We're
for
encouraging
sure.
new players to sign up. You'll be well supported, and we're all friends here, and we'll look after each other. So we hope to see some new faces come out that haven't come and given high level ultimate and men's ultimate a try yet.
Yep, absolutely. So back to the draft. We just had Marty pick Matt Hurd,
And
who was
now-
the coach from last season.
Sam O'Connell.
Now he's picking pretty much the B grade, the B coach from
B-
this
B-
season.
yeah.
Mr. Sam O'Connell. That's an interesting lineup.
We're getting late on. This is when it gets real tricky because you just just not sure exactly like how your players going to fit into your team. You're not sure like what their strengths and weaknesses. Maybe you haven't seen them play too much.
That's probably one of the best things about Super League, though, is that we mix up teams and you don't really know who you're playing with. But by the end of the season, you build those connections, and often it's the team that you least expect comes out of nowhere.
If I can get one of these guys.
So with Sammy Ogden pick, Sean picks Alfie. Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to Alfie. He's the one that's making this stream work for us. He is the one that has done all the graphics, and this is his first Super League. This is his first Super League, and he's joining the white team, Sammy Ogden. So that's really exciting. He's also nominated for Most Improved at the SAFTers next week. That's very exciting. Unfortunately, it does ruin the team dynamic a little bit. You're not a Greg and you're not of Asian descent, but welcome to Super League. Alfie Edgeworth into Sammy's team.
Yep, good to see Alfie.
Great to see Alfie.
Making a team, puts a lot of work into the community.
Behind the scenes, yeah.
Hopefully you make an impact on the field. Feeling the love. Yep.
We've got Jeruel. Is that Wilson's pick?
Yeah.
Your pick?
Yep, Wilson's pick.
Jeruel Canlas.
This is his first Super League as well.
Another rookie.
He's a young Flinders guy.
It's great to see some rookies getting involved.
On the under-22s team, so they're going over to Canberra at the end of November. So that's not too far away. We had them out training with us today, and it was real good just to have all these young guys come out and take on the older fellas. We actually, one of the games went to Golden Point, and the young guys managed to take it. So that was pretty exciting to watch.
Oh, that's good. I think that's all
they'll do well in
the
Canberra.
tail of that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it's a big squad too of boys going over to Canberra, so it's pretty exciting for PSA Ultimate.
Yep. Absolutely. With so much youth coming through as well, Super League will be on Monday nights this season. We've had a brief discussion of hopefully getting some under-18 youth pickup involved with Super League, which will tentatively be running prior to Super League on the same field in a different location. But if you're under 18 and you're looking to give Ultimate a go and checking out some high-level Ultimate, come out Monday night starting Monday week, the 18th of November for 10 weeks through to the end of January, from about 6 p.m. I think we're saying, but more information will be coming out shortly. You can come, you can play some pickup, you can learn some things, there's coaches out there, and then stick around and check out this Outbreak Super League for 2020, which is shaping up to be a absolute... Well, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
It's always interesting. It's always hard to see how the matchups.
Israel Sorondo.
Oh yeah, Izzy.
And now
there's a few guys that are making teams now that like maybe didn't make a team last year, and it's good to see them like voice their way in. Like
absolutely.
I know Alfie probably just missed the cut last year and he's in, and Izzy just missed the cut last year and he's in. So it's good to see these boys that have like really earned spots.
Absolutely.
In the last 12 months.
So this is
going to make an impact on the field.
This is the final round, the final
this
pick
is it.
For Andy
Last
Baddocks.
Pick for Baddocks.
Last pick for the red team. He's going with Ryan Froud, a West Adelaide boy. I'm very
He's missing a few weeks.
He is.
But he's a good athlete.
Yeah. He's a great athlete. And he's done very, very well this season in Div 1 men's. His first season at Div 1 level.
Yep.
Very athletic, as you said. Can jump high. Can read the disc quite well. Only playing 6 games, but he's another rookie.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, how much does that weigh into it now? You're this late on, do you pick guys that are like, maybe like pretty handy but haven't been picked because they got fewer games, or do you pick guys that are like, maybe not your strongest player, but they're going to be there every week and really committing to the team? So
absolutely.
Sam Davey,
that is
good
exciting.
for 9 or 10, so that's good. Another Heels guy making it in.
Another Heels guy. It's his second Super League. Will be his second Super League here for 9 or 10, as you said. He's just taken his game to the next level in Division 2 this season as a utility cutter. Really playing quite well, feeding off Aiden Mitchell, who's also on that blue team as well, and also Phil Shields, who not playing this season, but always good for a good chat. And,
there's a few guys to pick out of from here. A bunch of them still have quite a few games.
Tricky from here.
It is tricky, and it also like you just don't.
Who would you go with?
Look, I think like Dylan is always hard working, always making under options. He's there most weeks. I think he'll be hard done by if he doesn't make a team from here.
Dylan.
But he's not the tallest guy. Maybe people like overlook him for that, but he's constantly making options, and he works as hard as anyone. So
So there are a couple that are only here for a couple of games.
yeah, I think John's not going to make it. Not enough games there. I think John Perkins also came back from an injury, only available for 6 weeks. Dan T as well, going back to Canberra halfway through. I can't see them getting picked at this stage. So like Perrin, Ryan, both around for 10 weeks, but probably haven't played in the high level scene that often, so maybe not that familiar to the coaches. Same with Ethan, available for a lot of weeks, but probably not that familiar. Luke's been kind of in and out of the scene for a while. Jack, I think, should maybe get a look in here. He's available for 9 or 10 weeks, and just a good handler. Been really working on like a wide range of throws and athleticism recently. Has been out training with us today, so. It's definitely an option.
If you think about which team, though, you got Sammy's team, which is full of handlers.
Yeah, Sammy probably doesn't need Jack.
Need more handlers.
Someone like Dylan might be useful to Sammy.
Yeah, or maybe even Perrin.
Or Perrin, yeah, those are good options.
He's there for 10 games.
I think last 3 picks, it could go down to Perrin, Dylan, Jack.
Maybe Ethan.
Yeah, well, again, Ethan's probably not that familiar to I don't know how well either Marty. I mean, Sean probably knows Ethan, but again, he doesn't need that extra thrower. No. So you think Sean/Sam will go for Perrin or Dylan?
Pick.
And then,
what's your pick, Sean?
Oh, it's hard to say.
Sean Lace, what's your pick? Dylan.
I called it there.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. He's a hard-working undercut.
Yep, that's what that team needs.
Exactly what he needs.
Yeah.
That, I think, is his second Super League as well.
Yeah.
And to finish us off,
and this will really be between. It could be Jack and Perrin, I reckon.
Yeah.
Between the two guys that are going to be available quite a lot. Jack is a handler. Perrin is another cutter. Jack probably even a bit more experience and calm under pressure, just because he's done this a few times before.
Played a bit higher level.
Yeah, Perrin maybe just another runner. Depends how well Marty really knows Perrin, which I suspect isn't actually that much. I don't know if Marty and Perrin have crossed over too often. Just thinking that it is Marty, I think Jack could be a good option.
Just because of name?
Yeah, it could be like Ryan Smith might get a look in. I think they might play together a couple of seasons ago with Outbreak stuff. And Perkins could get a look, but not enough games.
He's only playing 6 games, and he's coming back from the games.
I'm not sure how well Marty and Luke know each other. That's probably not a connection that's been around. I'd be surprised if he goes past Jack. But it's really all about who Marty knows, who his team needs, and who's available for games. And there's a lot of factors. He'll weight each of those differently, so it's hard to tell which way he'll lean towards. He does. Look at his throw. He's got Rhodes and Kaon, who have good connections throwing together from playing a lot of years in Adelaide back in the day. So maybe Jack would get pushed out because of that.
Yeah.
And he's got, who is his like taller guy? He's got Talis, Johnny as a receiver. That's probably all he's really got for height. Maybe except for himself. Sam O'Connor can kind of fill that role at times. And we're going for Jack Hall. He's going for Jack. There we go.
Now, to me, that's surprising, but not surprising.
I think, I said, in terms of his connection and Jack's availability, I think that was the obvious choice. I think, it's just about who. Sometimes, especially later on, when you don't know who these guys are, you got to have seen them play a few times before, or thrown to them a few times before in the field, and just kind of know what they're looking for and how they can be played. I think just like Marty probably never even thrown against or with Ethan before, or Perrin, or maybe Perkins, or even like John, definitely Kevin. He just hasn't played with these guys before. He doesn't know if they'll be able to catch his pie, or if they'll throw pie that he can put. He just doesn't know, and that makes all the difference later on. So that's it. That's all teams picked. So, John, real quick, who's going to win it?
There we go. Well, that's a great question. I'm on the blue team, so I'm going to have to say the blue team for number 1.
Yeah.
But it could be a range of. I think we're going to struggle against Marty's team. They are tall. They are experienced, but then you got Andy as well, who typically does very well at Super League.
Andy is a Super League specialist, and he's got some good targets.
I would probably go Marty, Andy, maybe Wilson, Sammy, Professor Sammy, but
Andy's got 3 guys that really love to punt it, himself, Davis, and Joe. And Nuno as well, actually, he's loving punting it recently. So there's 4 guys that love to punt it, and then he's got targets like Lockie, Ted, Luke, Busy, Ryan. All those guys will just run deep and hop every single time. That's what he wants. This is a team based around Andy's throwing long to big receivers. I think if those connections work, it's going to be hard to get past Badix this Super League, as it is most Super Leagues.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a really interesting league in that no team is the same. There are 4 very distinct different teams here. So that's very exciting. Sorry to the 8 fellas that missed out, unfortunately. Most of you are rookies coming in this season, only playing maybe 1 or 2. Better luck next year. Get out to Outbreak trainings if you can.
I mean that makes the difference. It's not like this isn't about who you know as such or your personal connection, but it is about like being known and about actually having trained with these guys and played together and just knowing like what people are capable of and their style of play. Because it's not a personal thing as such. It's just a matter of actually being familiar with each other, because you can't. Like, it's hard to pick someone on reputation when you know someone else and you know kind of what their style of game is like. So don't get the two confused, because this isn't biased as such, but it is influenced by your own knowledge of what people are capable of. So if you're upset by this or you want to get picked higher or whatever, all you got to come out and train with the boys, get to know the captains for next year or whatever, and work your way back into it. Just like Alfie and Izzy, for example, have done really well, like just working their way back into it.
Dylan P as well.
Dylan P missed out last year as well. I think Ricky missed out last year and he's worked his way back in. He's actually got picked quite high, I think.
He's done quite well.
So these boys didn't make the cut last year, but they've worked their way back in just by getting out there playing, showing what they're capable of, and proving that they're worth being picked. And that's what it takes.
Absolutely.
So great work, Alf, on the work.
Yeah, thanks to our technical people, mainly just Alfie. And thanks Ben for
helping his lady Katie,
and Tim Stevens as well for having a chinwag. So Tim and I are the lead directors. So we look forward to seeing not only the teams but any friends or family that want to come out for opening night, which is Monday week, the 18th of November. I'm getting ahead of myself. The 18th of November. Monday week. From 6:30 is the first game, and then we have 8:15 for game 2. We will have stats and analytics and hopefully some streaming as well. So be aware of that, and there's more information to come out with that soon. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you for joining us. If you have been following, have a great rest of your
please
Saturday.
share online how you think these teams will go, your favourite for the season, your dark horse or your white elephant, who you think is going to overperform and underperform. Share your opinion. We're always happy for a bit of a banter and a bit of a critical laugh. So tell us what you think. Thanks, John.
Other than that, have a good rest of your weekend. We'll see you all next time.